All right, so welcome to Record of Gaia Group 2, Mini Session 2. We got lots of them going on. I'm Alex, the
Me number
DM,
two. Me
and
number two.
who is the player playing today?
It's me. I am Ginger with glasses, and I
Nice,
am playing Genevieve,
nice,
the
nice.
paladin.
The Goliath French person. I'm here for
Wizzy.
it. All right, so we'll have a little bit of fun music intro, and then we'll get on started. And I don't know how loud this music's going to be, so prepare
Okay.
as we lower this one and we start this one. All right. So, today, today is the day. On this warm, sunnier morning, you know that your training will finally be completed and you'll be gifted with your mission. Waking up from a not so restful sleep due to a combination of nerves, excitement, and maybe a little bit of fear, you find yourself staring at the ceiling of the rest house. Noises of morning animals and movement of some of your clanmates, training partners, and teachers, and the general waking of the world can be heard as warm rays of the morning sun and the light, cooler breezes of the morning make their way through these barred windows. They almost look like prison windows, but there's just no glass. So they're not imprisoning you, that's just kind of what they look like. Um, as you kind of lay there looking at the ceiling, what you feeling? What's your morning routine look like today?
I feel like Jean normally is like a jump out of bed, like run around doing all the things, like overly chipper in the morning person, but today I think between the, as you say, the anxiety and the sleep, they're a little morose today. Even though today should be exciting, they're just a little bit like on edge. As they're, they wake up and they put on their clothes and they they're just kind of like going through the motions today without the normal pep in their step.
As you slowly, pepless, get your morning going, you know that it's that time when you have to go out and you have to face the music today. You have to face the final tasks of all of your training that's led to today. You have to complete all of your challenges to be granted your mission. Um, Today is the day that you finish what you started a long time ago and start the next chapter of your life. And you hear a voice from outside call to you, Genevieve, get up. It's time.
I'm awake. And mama, and like like slaps her face a couple times to finish waking up, and does a couple of like quick rotations and stretches really quickly like on the spot, um, and then like breathes in like and then like puts on the normal like relatively cheery face
Mm.
that she has, and opens up the door and I'm ready. I'm ready.
As you step outside, you see standing in front of you. How tall are you as your
Ooh,
character?
that's a really good question. How tall are Goliath?
Quite tall. They can be typically. I think they're. I'm just gonna say in this world they can be up to 10 feet tall, or at least 8 to 9 at most. I would say here. I feel like that's solid for Goliath. But
Um, I'm neither super tall nor super short. Like I'm like peak
okay,
average Goliath height. So like 7.5 maybe
okay.
is would be like my guess of what would be average height.
I guess they're the same height and weight range of humans. So they're. I'm just gonna say they're taller because they're Goliath. Cool. 7.5. That works. As you step out, you see standing in front of you, a little bit taller, but looks like they're trying to come across as broader. But you know from many conversations with Vavu that this 7, almost 8 foot tall Goliath is actually quite frail in their look. They're very strong, they're very cunning, and they're very smart, but they typically wear clothes that are oversized to make them look bigger as they are on the smaller side physically of Goliaths, but they hold a lot of power. They just don't have the physical embodiment of a Goliath in their prime. Um, and as you walk out, Vavu standing there with their big floppy red hat and red scarf over top of their red robes. This person has been Vavu has coined the nickname the Scarlet Goliath, as they typically only wear scarlet red clothes. And you've heard stories that they started wearing clothes because when they were these clothes because when they were younger, they would go into combat and use their cunning, their wits, and maybe their magic to just annihilate their enemies. And their clothes were constantly covered in blood, and they never knew whose it was. So instead of, changing clothes all the time, they just started wearing blood colored clothing. It kind of gives that more of that intimidating presence to this older, frail looking Goliath. But you step out, they look at you already tired for the day, and it's first thing in the morning. Well, matin, Genevieve, go. Let's get this started, so we can send you on your way. Um,
Of course, let's go. I'm ready.
all
I'm
right.
ready.
Um,
Half to herself, half to you. Uh,
you see that they point. First, you're gonna go down to Verigal. The Masterlander is going to train you in all forms of up close, personal, melee combat and defense. After Verigal, if successful, go on over to Alathia. She will teach you the manner in which to defend yourself from range and from skyward enemies. And then your final station for today's training and completion and test will be over at Ilamach. He'll teach you the ways of the paladin that you wish to be. And then come and find me. I'll have, if successful, I'll have what you need to start this next chapter. I'll be watching.
I won't disappoint you.
Good. And they just kind of walk back over to where they were, and they just stare off 1,000-yard stare into.
Knowing that people are watching and like trying to like make a good impression, like
Mm. All right. I don't know why my music's not working right, but it's fine. I'll make it work later. As you get down here, this Goliath is stout and broad. They are only about 6'4", so on the smaller side, but they are almost as wide as they are tall. Um, yes, they hold a tower shield in one hand. They hold a two-handed hammer in the other hand. Being as wide and broad as they are, they hold this hammer like it's no problem at all. And Varigol being the trainer for you today, points over to the rack of armor and says, "Put on that chainmail, grab that shield, grab that sword." Mm-hmm.
She's just kind of like, she's got it. She's totally got it. She doesn't need help, but there's a lot of noises clanging, and there's the occasional sticking your head out the sleeve hole and stuff like that. But she gets her chainmail and grabs the sword and shield, and like does a couple like quick like wrist rotations with the sword, like kind of feeling its weight and balance, um before she's like, okay, I'm ready, and like heads back to her teacher, clanging all the way. She's sort of like she's really very much like anyone with any perception or insight would be able to see that she is like sweating on the inside, but she is really doing her best to not be sweating on the outside. Are you saying anything? Because I can't hear you. Oh,
There we go. I fixed it. Hold on, my dog's yelling. Yeah, he doesn't like it when people walk by, so he's clearly yelling. I think there's a delivery person outside or something. But I was asking you, do you want to focus on one-handed or two-handed swordsmanship? Okay, that's fine. He will train you in both. So, he wants you to make 3 attacks. We'll do 2 with one-handed, and one he'll have you rest your shield down and do it as a two-handed, so it'll just be the 2 different damage dice. So go ahead and make some attacks against the mannequins. Yeah, there you go. Yes, give him 2 one-handed quick slashes. 2 natural ones to start your session. That's remarkable. That's the disappointment in Varigol's eyes. He looks up at Vavu and he just sighs audibly loudly. And Vavu just kind of waves him off and he goes, "All right. Well, I guess try with two hands first and see if that's any better. Put your shield down and try with two hands. Better, better. Maybe it's a balance issue. Now pick up your shield and try once more. He kind of looks at you. Um, mm. Well, the 11 did connect, so you did hit it with the 11 because it's a mannequin. It doesn't hit you back. But the first two, you just missed outright. You just fell over. All right. Well, I think your forte lies in two-handed at least for today. It could be nerves, but the shield is there to protect you. So I would advocate practicing both. You're not the worst I've ever seen, shockingly. All right. Well, now I'm gonna take some swings at you. So hold your shield and prepare. He is gonna take um, he's gonna take 3 attacks at you. He's not trying to do any heavy damage or anything like that. He's just swinging the warhammer 3 times, aiming directly at your shield, wanting you to brace yourself and hold yourself back. So, oh, whoops, it's supposed to be 2d20 plus 3. So, a 10, a 13, and a 1. So you block, boom, boom, and as you go to block the third one, you kind of just step out the way a little bit, and he goes to swing and just totally whiffs, kind of mimicking your whiffing of the mannequin. So, but you hear him just sigh to himself. maybe, maybe this is just the day for all of us. So okay. Anyway, you pass. Let's go to Lathia. You can keep the long sword, the shield, and the chainmail. This is your graduation presents. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He awkwardly just steps over here and then points and says, "Go, go to Lathia."
Clings her way over here.
As you get over there, Alathia, this Goliath stands 9'4", athletically built, tattoos on her face, long black hair, flowing freely, looks at you, looks down at you, and says, "Do you really think that you could survive at range?"
No, not at all.
Excellent. That's what I like to hear. This is why I'm here, to teach you how to. And she hands you, well, she points out to you a couple of things. There are a stack of javelins that she wants you to use, as well as then an option between a heavy crossbow and a longbow. So you get to pick which type of bow would you wish to practice with.
Crossbow.
Okay. So you are handed, or you go over and you pick up the heavy crossbow. You pick up the javelin. I would say a regular crossbow, actually, because I think they might be dex based. They might
I
all the
think
crossbows
so.
might be dex based. They are dex based. So actually, what I'll do is, since you want a crossbow, I'm gonna rebuild one later and make it strength based instead of, um,
Ooh.
you know, this based. So it's gonna be a +3 to hit override. We're just gonna do this. Hit bonus and then 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. That should be right. 1d10 +3 and plus. There you go. Cool. So we'll just use that for now, and that'll be your crossbow. I'll just leave it customized like that. That works out. So she wants you to start practicing with the javelin and the crossbow. So she says, step back 20 feet, 30 feet from this right here. So 5, 10, 15, 20. She tells you to stand there
Cool.
and then throw some javelins.
And throw some javelins. Wha-chow.
Okay. Give her 3 javelin throws.
Wha-chow, wha-chow. That last wha-chow or 3 is
Yes. The first one you throw, and it hits the outer blue ring of the target,
Yeah.
and she kind of goes, The second one, you throw, you're kind of getting your groove, and it just falls short by about 2 feet. And the third one,
Yep.
you buck back and just throw it, and you get almost a bullseye. She nods. Very good. Very good. And she goes and picks them up and throws them back towards you like lawn darts and lands them right beside you. And then says, okay, crossbow.
Pulls out the crossbow. Oh! Sorry.
There you go. Bam. The
Whoa,
crossbow.
crossbow, man!
The crossbow seems to be your
Like, so many
weapon.
times, apparently. But
Yeah, you're good. She looks at you. You bullseye. Then with the second one, you kind of veer off and you hit the blue ring. The third shot, pew, you split the bullseye down the middle. And the 23, you land it right beside it, like you just put 2 of them in the size of a dime. She looks impressive. Maybe that should be your style of attack. Anyway.
we have this, like, I've literally never shot a crossbow this well before in my life. Like, this is, she's kind of like, what? That worked? Shit! Great!
She grabs the bolts and throws them back towards you and steps over to you, pats you on the head. Good job, little one. I believe you can be successful and you can survive in this world. Go and face Ilamach.
Thank you. Pick up all of my stuff really awkwardly and then, like, walk over to my last station, like, with just, like, a bunch of bolts and javelins just, like, in my arms, like, when you've gone, like, when you've gone grocery shopping and, like, you're trying to carry everything in all at once, and, like, that's 100% the vibe.
He looks at you. You can go ahead and put all that stuff away. Just do it. Put it away. And
Okay,
I have to
great.
finish this set anyway, and he's just finishing bench pressing.
It is bench pressing, love it. Yeah, so she'll, like, take a second and, like stuff everything, like, in quivers and bags and stuff.
As you put everything away, he racks up his
99, 100, perfect.
He racks his final rep and kind of stands up and brushes himself off, and he kind of bows to you and says, I am Ilamach Highhand. I am the one who will teach you the ways of the divine. And no, divine power doesn't come from pumping iron. I just like to work out.
She's a little bit disappointed. She was hoping she could just pump weight and get power divine that way, but you know.
You can certainly get better at sword fighting if you get stronger.
That's true. We've learned that maybe I need to be a little stronger.
Indeed. Well, lift weights. Anyway, I need you to sit, close your eyes, and begin to meditate and focus on the divinity all around us and the power within yourself.
So she'll like clank to a sitting position,
Mm.
um, and just kind of like close her eyes and like sit super quietly. Internally, she's kind of like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I hope I look like I'm doing it right.
As
Um,
you as you sit, he starts to chant some words in primordial, um, and he then begins to lead you in a meditation. And he says, "Connect with the world around you, the sounds, the smells, the wind on your face, and just focus on the evil and the good in the world." And as he kind of leads you into this meditative phase, you start to feel like your senses are being deprived of sight in this moment. With your eyes closed, you start to feel like you're trying to pick up on things. You can pick up on Illimak, you can pick up on Varigol, Alathia, and Vavu, and they all have the same type of warm, almost lilac-smelling presence. And then, almost like a jolt of lightning, this smell of sulfurous garbage hits your nose, and you feel this spike of everything at this moment, which seems like you should be against. And he helps you activate your divine sense for the first time. And as your eyes flash open, they kind of glow this purplish golden color, and you feel the detection of a fiendish creature just up here. And as you kind of look at it, he looks over and then snaps his fingers, and you see that the fiend just poof, disappears into this red-black smoke, and then the smell disappears. Um, that that is how you activate your ability to sense good and evil in this world. Focus and believe, and you'll be able to sense. Now stand, please.
clanks back up to standing.
And he walks up and he puts out his hand to shake your hand.
Shakes like pumps vigorously.
As
Trying to do that like trying to do like the like business firm handshake, but she just doesn't know how to do it.
and he, as you're shaking his hand, he pulls you in real close, real quick, and stabs you in the kidney with a dagger, and says, "You can't trust anyone, no matter what they say," and rips it out, and you feel 3 damage into your abdomen, and you start to bleed as he gets you right between the plates on your armor. It says, "Now, lay your hands over your wound.
What the?
Lay your hands over your wound, child."
And so she's gonna, hold her hands and like she doesn't she I know what's going on.
Mm.
She's like, what the hell is going on?
Believe in yourself and tell your body to heal. Tell it to heal.
And like she's like she thinks in her head like heal, like the way you would say to like a dog, heal. And that's
You feel this surge of energy kind of pulsate through you, and it seems like it's almost beating with your heart. You say, "Boof, boof," and then this surge just kind of pulsates out of your chest up into your limbs, down your arms, wrists, into your hands, and all of a sudden you feel this like wave of warmth. This wave of warmth pulse out of your hands into your abdomen, and your abdomen just starts, like a tailor, starts to sew itself back up, and you feel the pain disappears. As you look down, there's no scar, there's nothing. The wound has been healed, and he looks and says, "This is how you can heal yourself and others, utilizing the power that you have earned." Now, to Vavu with you, and waves you off to Vavu.
As as she runs off, uh, like a kid that's just been told to run along now. And then like realizes that she just ran up a whole bunch of stairs and is like heavily breathing when she gets up there. Like, I did my. I'm done. What now?
They produce a hold out a small cup and then create some water into it and hand it to you.
Like just chugs it.
Now, Genevieve, you have completed all of your trainings, all of your tasks. The chapter of training in your life to this moment is complete. Now we give you your task going forward. You must train independently, work independently, until you get to your goal and things that you need. But our training for you in this moment, you have passed. I'm very proud.
Thank you.
And they hand you, they kind of lean down and grab a bag that was leaning against the wall of this turret here and hand it to you. It's a traveling backpack. Inside of this backpack, there are 10 days worth of rations, 2 small red vials, which you know to be healing potions, a map of the region of where you are, a talisman with a skull in the middle surrounded by red rubies that look like blood drops, and a scroll with 3 faces on it. And Vavu says to you, These are your targets, Genevieve. I don't know their names. I only know where you can likely find one of them. But this talisman should help you in that manner. And as you look in your inventory, you now have the Talisman of Baal, which it gives you a +1 to spell attack rolls and saves of your DCs. When you get your Channel Divinity, you can use it. You can just use this to get a use of it back for free every day. 1 extra use, basically, and then locate creature at will with this. It should help you find your targets. It's basically a reskinned Amulet of the Devout.
Right.
I do know that the 3 targets here have betrayed us. The Goliaths of Narmont. You know that Narmont is the village where you and your tribe live, and it's about a mile or so away from where this training camp is. This training camp is kept independent of the city itself, as people are often sent here for an extended period of time, and they don't want those trainees to be distracted by friends, family, loved ones, so they bring them here to train and to pass their final training tests. Those 3 have betrayed the trust of us, the trust of the Goliaths of Normal. And betrayal is to be met with swift execution, and this will prove your loyalty to all of us and your bond that you will forever protect your people. Looking at these, all I know is that at least one of them can be found in Soiseau, in the Principality of Fey. And you know from maps that you have studied, places that you have seen, that there are a few different regions of this world. You currently, with your tribe, you guys all live in the Zephlax Empire, which is more of where the humanoids and the non-Fey and Shadow Dark creatures typically reside. So there's lots of different races here, but your tribe of Goliath live here. Not so much in the mountains, but more in more of the plains almost. There's forests and stuff like that, but you're not mountainous Goliaths. While you do descend from them, you are more of plains kind of Goliaths. The Principality of Fey, where you know that you need to be headed now to find the village of Soiseau, is full of Fey-like creatures, magic, whimsy, things like that. The Twilight Lands is the equivalent of the Shadowfell. These realms have not yet split off from the main plane, so all of these realms are in one big plane. So there's no Shadowfell plane, there's no plane of Fae. You're all in one big section as of right now. And then Voskeia, you don't really know too much about it, other than it's a very mysterious region that people go to, and they don't really come back. You don't really know of anyone who's left Voskeia, but you don't also know that many people who have been there. Goliaths don't typically have a reason to go there, but you do know people go, and they're typically not heard from again. Um, so, you know that you have to travel to the Principality of Fae. And looking at your map, he says that you can tell it's about 9 days from this training site. You follow the river eventually up until you get to the safest crossing, and you can cross into the Principality and then make your way down into the village. Vavu says, I've seen it in the clouds that at least one of them are there. All I can make out is their shapes. My powers of divination have yet to be called into question, so I believe that is where you need to go. That is where they can be found. I've also seen that there are 2 others you must seek out while heading there to assist you. They are not Goliaths. They seem to be more humans or humanoids, much smaller than you, but they will be of great assistance. Upon returning here, they will also be welcomed to join or to at least visit unharmed our town. Is there anything you need help with prior to leaving?
So I'm s- where once I find the first one, where do I find the others? Do I have to come back here to find the others, or
No. Likely they are working together.
so like
Yes.
they'll know and I'll be able to. Okay. And
Mm-hmm.
these people who are supposed to help me, they're small? How small?
Smaller than you.
A lot of things are smaller than me.
They're very they're very unique. They're very different. I believe you'll know them when you see them. Something will stand out that will make you want to be with them.
Okay. Small people, go to the Fae. Dominoes will land from there. Where to go next? Got it.
The small people will likely emanate with magical power, unlike what you've seen in our tribe, as we are typically those of divine power or fighters and barbarians. Me being the only seer, they don't have the same magical connection as I, and they don't have the same magic as you. That's the best I can give you. That's all I know.
Okay. Are they looking for me?
I don't think they are, but they might be. I don't know. Um, but you, one way or the other, will attract each other.
Okay. Like magnets.
Yes, like magnets.
Thank you. I will be off right away then.
Excellent. Good luck. I wish you the best. And I hope when we see you again, you're stronger and feel more secure in yourself, and you've completed your task.
Thank you. As she's leaving, she would like to stop back at the guy who was lifting weights
Mm-hmm.
and ask if he has any small hand weights that she could bring with her to buff up.
He gives you 2 5-pound little
Yes.
dumbbells and 2 10-pound dumbbells.
Great.
In the form of like a stick that's been merged with 2 rocks on each
Yeah,
side.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, she just wants to bring some dumbbells with her,
yep.
so that when her strength goes up by 1, she has a reason. Later.
And as you head out, following the river away from your training sites, following the direction on the map, getting yourself together, carrying your sword, your javelins, your crossbow, your shield, your armor, not being the quietest at all right now as you're just clinging and clanging. Um, you advance to level 2, and we will pick up with you going towards where you need to be at the
Woo!
beginning of the main campaign.